This is new make whiskey.
Hello.
In a few years, it's going to turn into our award-winning single malt, the single malt of magnificence that you magnificent bastards collectively designed in our community. But this is the exact same kind of new make.
Surprise, motherfucker.
It's the same Maris Otter barley, the same distillery, the same yeast, all of that stuff, but it tastes completely different. And the answer as to why is potentially an answer to one of the biggest ongoing debates in whiskey circles. What makes the biggest difference in creating whiskey?
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. The whiskey creation process involves a lot of different factors. There's a lot of variables that affect that outcome. You have the grain, you have the barrel, you have the size of the barrel, you have the yeast, you have the cuts. You're going narrow, you're going wide, you have the barrel bottle proof. Surrounding environment, like is the climate something that's angle of the line arm coming off of the still honey with that percentage, making your best We're not focusing on any of those details except for one, the type of still. We're talking about the difference between a pot still and a column still, the two main types of stills used in spirit creation today. This is a pot still. This is the style of still that's been around for ages. This is old school, and the easiest way to describe what's happening here, you have a tea kettle. It's the same principle. Instead of just having water in that tea kettle, you have a liquid that is water and ethanol. Now, fortunately, ethanol is going to evaporate at a lower temperature than water. So as this heats up, the ethanol is going to be the first things that are vaporizing and going up into the line arm over to the condenser that is turning back into a liquid. Now you're starting to get the alcohol, the ethanol dripping out of your pot still. Pretty simple. This is a column still. We're gonna go back to 1830 and Aeneas Coffey made his version of what would soon become the modern day column still. Now this is a little bit more complex of a process, but it's not too complex. Now your spirit's gonna come in and it's going to basically go through a gauntlet of plates. These are copper plates, and every level is more intensely scrubbing that combination of water and alcohol. And as it gets scrubbed, it gets higher and higher proof with the alcohol. And these molecules are getting separated at a higher and higher intensity as it levels up through this column. So by the time you get to the top, this is where you're getting a much higher, cleaner spirit. It is a column, a series of plates that are pulling out impurities, yes, but also flavor. And we want to see in a blind taste test, can people tell the difference between the spirit that's coming off of a pot or a column? First, we're gonna have them nose what came out of the column still. Here we go. This is a couple of spirits in front of you. We're gonna get your assessment. There's no right or wrong answers. What do you find differently experientially? How are they different from each other?
I'm going in assuming that you distilled something interesting.
Okay. Let's go through the nose. What are you finding on your left? We'll start with that.
Okay. Oh, that's nothing.
Not bad, actually.
It's actually not overpowering though.
Very ethanol forward on the nose.
Ethanol forward, yeah.
It's very clean on the nose.
Okay.
Crisp, clean.
It's that clean, neutrally, not rubbing alcohol, but that vodka.
Almost vodka-ish.
But there is sort of a round fruit note.
Fruitiness.
Basket fruits, like a basket of fruit. So you're getting basket and outside of fruit. So it's not very like super fruity.
Yeah.
If melon was in a cupcake, for some reason, like it's just pure sweetness. There's not a lot of body.
There's some sweetness. There's a sweetness, a little honey. Ooh, there's like a little bit of honey going on in there. There's almost like a citrus.
A little bit of citrus.
Okay.
Like a stinky vanilla.
And a little cinnamony.
There's a malt that starts to come up as you kind of acclimate to the ethanol.
Don't be wrong, don't be wrong.
There is no wrong. There's only stupid.
There's only stupid, yeah. There are no stupid questions, just stupid people who have questions.
This episode is sponsored by Fume. Oh my God, that smells so good.
What?
You just
smelled that?
smelled it as you whipped it out.
It's nice. Where's yours?
I didn't bring mine because you guys didn't tell me that we were doing this
You
today.
just left it at your house again.
I like to use mine while I read my book.
You know what I think? You watch me enjoy this all day. So when it comes to bad habits, one of the hardest things to do is to quit cold turkey. But if you're trying to give up a bad habit, if you can just take the badness out of the habit, that's a good way to go. So instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural and it uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural, delicious flavors. So we showed off the cores last time, and they have new flavors. Have you tried the new flavors that are here at the office and not at your house?
I haven't. So maybe you should share.
It's incredibly well made. There's actually a little bit of weight to it. And it's magnetic. It gives you a little click here. You can pick up the Journey Pack today at tryfume.com/whiskeytribe. That's tryfum.com/whiskeytribe. Use code whiskeytribe. You're gonna get 10% off that Journey Pack. Next, we're gonna move on to the nose on the pot still. Now keep in mind, this is the exact same thing. All of the variables were locked in place. The only difference was the pot still column still. Let's see what difference they're finding. Let's jump to the nose on the one on your right. Did you just clear your nose away?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a little bit funkier.
Ooh, a little more funky.
Okay, this one's got some stank on it. Ooh, quite different.
Ooh.
This is honeydew.
Melon rind and sour juice.
A little bit of swampy bog water to it.
Little bit of cut grass.
Barnyard straw hay, wet hay.
Veggie, like an elote,
What's an elote?
corn.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's grainy, crackery, like a little bit of cookie.
You know that smell when you open up like one of those cardboard packages of oats?
Yeah.
That airiness that comes from that.
Okay, so you're finding there's a grainy quality to it.
Yeah, it's like a funky cereal.
I've never seen your face look like that.
Those you think are different.
I do.
Okay.
Uh-oh. They may be the same thing. If I was gonna make a guess, this one's just been like charcoal filtered a lot more than the other one.
I mean, the more I go back to it, it gets a little bit more pleasant. Like this one's way better, especially going back to it. It's nice.
Compared to that one, just there's a thickness to it.
More hot, like heated, burning smell to it. This one's kind of got more of a fresh, clean, sweeter smell to it.
I feel like if I was gonna be able to pick out notes, it'd be easier for me with this one than it is with that one.
Okay. Time to taste it. Let's see what the palate is like on this column still, and is it tracking with what the nose is setting up? Let's try the one on your left.
Okay.
Ooh, it's sweet.
Immediately I'm getting sweetness on the body.
It's almost heading towards like a vodka or a rum. I mean, is this a vodka? Like a,
It's like gin, but the botanical is malt.
Almost like a gin aftertaste. Like a juniper or like it's been infused.
there's a little bit of spice going on in there. A little peppery.
It kind of disappears a little bit, but it has some of that fruit in there,
That berry, a little bit of berry.
Yeah.
like healthy candy.
A little candy, a little minty. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I'm not getting a whole lot from this.
It's still really light.
It nosed to me as very, very clean, especially compared to the other one.
The flavor gets kind of lost and it's kind of just smooth.
Almost a creaminess on the finish.
Nice.
Oh, there's a little more density, but that's just column still new make.
Yeah.
Probably malt.
Next, we're gonna taste the pot still. And keep in mind, the cuts on these, those were also as consistent as possible. This is middle of the hearts. These are narrow cuts, so we're not getting weird heads or tails involved. Let's see what the pot still tastes like. And then on the right, how does that compare?
Ooh,
Immediately bitter on the front.
First of all,
Tad
is it-
bit more bitter.
so it's different.
Yes.
Okay.
it's coming up. Like it's not coming up, but it's like, oh man, it's living.
This tastes identical. No. The after hangs around. It's got some darkness, some mossy.
It's got a thick, it's got a spice, it's got a little more pepper. The maltiness comes through.
It's got a staticky sweetness.
An artificial sweetness on the back.
Okay. Like an aspartame type of deal?
Maybe more like a stevia.
Okay.
Sweeter, oily.
Okay.
The oil's still there.
And it's a little bit more grain, barnyard.
This one's a little more grainy.
Yeah, all I'm getting is like a malty, like cereal note from it.
I don't know if I'm just hungry, but at the very end, it's like after you eat a chicken tender. You know?
You do not like that one on the right.
I do not.
The biggest difference is this has flavor and this has only sweetness. This is almost vodka, like super sweetened fruity vodka.
And this could be one of those tricky things where they're both the same, and for some reason I'm not noticing it. But I do feel like there's a difference. This one, both the odors and on the palate, just heavier, oilier. Like I said, funkier.
This one has a little bit more flavor. Yeah, it's got more flavors to it. This one kind of just loses its flavor as soon as it hits the tongue.
This feels like more of a narrow cut because it feels really clean and fruity and nice and gentler. And this one's got that like funk in there, but it's still not bad.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not entirely sure whether it's something that's been distilled more like an Irish, like a 3 times pot still, or a column still, but it's a lot cleaner than this one is. This one has more depth of character.
The only difference between these two are pot still and column still.
It is! That's fascinating because these are wildly different.
Yeah, these are both the exact same American single malt whiskey. It's new make. The only difference, because they are the exact same proof at 100 proof, the only difference is the kind of still that was used. This is an exploration of pot still versus column still. So coming full circle, what makes the biggest difference in creating a whiskey? It's a very interesting question, but it's really hard to get your hands on an apples to apples comparison. The Primal Spirits release, this is an exploration of one of those factors, the still type. There's been a lot of conversation about the component parts of whiskey and the steps in the process and how big of a difference that it makes, but there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to put something in your glass and see the difference. That's exactly what we want to share with you guys. For you to have the kind of firsthand experience that a distiller has whenever they're making those decisions, that's the kind of experience we want to offer in the Primal Spirits line.
Oh crap! That looks like one of our labels. It is!
Oh, the Primal Spirits!
Yeah.
Dude, sick!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Look at these labels, man.
Those are good labels.
There you go.
So I did not read these. If I was to guess, because this one had the richer, more complicated, robust, boggier flavor, I would guess this was the pot still.
Yep.
Because everything's in there.
Nailed it.
And then this one was more precise and clean.
Yeah. So in
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
He can be taught.
This is going to be my pot still. This is going to be my column still.
Yeah.
Column pot.
Got it.
Pot still.
Yeah.
Column still.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's column, that's pot.
Yeah. Why would you say that?
I know the column has the scrubbing plate, so that's why I got more of that like vodka, like, you know, neutral note to it. Whereas this one had all the funk.
There's a reason that your upcoming bar is called Alchemy.
Yeah.
Because this is not science. It is wizardry.
Yeah. Would you feel comfortable pouring that pot still new make for somebody that is not familiar with what new make is?
Actually, yes. Because,
Really? 'Cause that's not-
this is not that funky. I've had some funkier
I
stuff.
think you were just so innately funky.
We've got the funk.
The reason why this kind of A-B comparison is so rare is pretty obvious. Whenever a distillery puts their time and energy and resources into making something, they usually want to take it all the way through the process and have a finished whiskey that's going to be beautiful in your glass. They're not really interested in giving you a half-baked apple pie. But deliciousness isn't the point of this Primal Spirits line. Eye-opening is what we're going for here. Taking whiskey down to the rails, the elemental parts, the primitive pieces. All right, what does the back say?
This Primal Spirits bundle is a column still versus pot still experiment. Compare this bottle to its counterpart.
And an elemental secret of whiskey will be laid bare in your glass. Be laid bare in your glass. Be laid bare in your glass. Be laid bare in your glass.
Are you having a stroke right
Be laid. It'll be laid bare in your glass. That was perfect. Oh, I spit everywhere. And that's how it's done. I'm sweaty.
So this is a pretty small batch. We're gauging interest right now. Who's actually wanting to go on these expeditions and really taste the difference, or who just wants to talk about it online? We'll find out. If this is interesting to you, there's a lot of other parts of the process that we want to isolate from the other variables, but first things first, pot still, column still, new make that turns into an award-winning single malt. Link in the description down below. I also want to give a huge shout out to another YouTube channel, First Phil Whisky. He recently came out with a video talking about all of the technical, deep diving details into pot still versus column still. He needs way more subscribers than he has. He's doing an amazingly good job at creating highly detailed content for you guys. So I'm gonna link that in the description down below as well. First Phil Whisky, check it out.